Okay, so what are the four Vedas? Who wants to say?
Rig Ved, Atharvaved, Samved, and
Atharvaved,
Yajurved.
And what are the three ways to get knowledge?
Shastra, Sadhu Shastra,
Prataksha,
and
Anuman,
Anuman, and Shabda.
Pratyaksha, Anuman, and Shabda. So which is considered
Yeah, I heard it. Don't go there, okay? You just go and sit. Mama will come in sometime.
which is the perfect way to know of the three?
Shabd, Aman.
What are the four defects of the conditioned soul? So we will ask, let's see, Sita Vallabi, what are the four defects of the Sita Vallabi Mataji? What are the four defects of the conditioned soul?
It's like incomplete senses, illusion,
Imperfect senses.
imperfect senses, illusion, cheating, paparazzi, and I don't remember the fourth one.
Tendency to commit mistakes.
Yeah, tendency to commit mistakes.
Okay. Then 1 minute. Am I sharing my screen? So yeah, so that was all about what is the essence of all the Vedas?
To know Krishna.
Essence of all Vedas is to know Krishna. So what is the commentary of the Gaudiyas on the Vedanta Sutra? What is it called?
Govinda Bhashya.
Govinda Bhashya. What is Shankaracharya's commentary on Vedanta Sutra called?
Aham Brahmasmi.
Huh?
Aham Brahmasmi.
That is the Vedanta Sutra, but what is the commentary called? Like ours is called.
Is it Advaitavad?
Yeah.
I think it's not mentioned. Sharirika Bhashya, it is mentioned. So, okay. And then is my screen being shared or not shared?
We can see.
Okay, so then okay, now we'll read there's so many other questions, but we'll read mantra 1. This is for memorizing. Actually, this is the invocation mantra. It's not mantra 1 also, but invocation. First was introduction. What we read was a lecture by Prabhupada. And now this is invocation. So this is to memorize. This verse is part of Bhakti Shastri. Om Purnamada Purnamidam. So Purnam will come so many times. Purnam means full. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Okay, the personality of Godhead is perfect and complete. So Krishna is perfect and complete, obviously. And because he is completely perfect, all emanations from him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. So what is coming from Krishna is also completely perfect. How it is completely perfect? This material world is imperfect, right? In the sense that it gives us a lot of trouble. So, well, because we are misusing, we are in Maya, that is why it is giving us a lot of trouble. If you are in Krishna consciousness, this material world gives all the necessities for the conditioned soul to live a very nice life and to fulfill the purpose of life. But because of man's greed and man's lust for power and so many other things, it has created a lot of commotion and a lot of anxiety for everybody in this world. But otherwise, this world is perfect. Like they say, there is no scarcity of food. If everybody became a vegetarian, the earth has the potency to provide the needs of all the people. But because we are cutting down the fields and establishing industries and all this land is being used for other purposes to produce so many other things, or for tobacco and so many drugs like that. So that is why there is problem and there is scarcity of food, and also because people are not willing to share their resources. Like in America, there are more resources, but they will not let people from other countries come here, and they have occupied this land and they are calling. So some countries are resource starved, and there are other countries which have ample resources. But those who are in those countries which have ample resources, they will not want to share it with others, because everybody wants to dominate and everybody wants to enjoy. They don't want to share it. Actually, it is God's property, and we are meant to use, everybody is entitled to use the Father's property equally. But that is the communist idea, but they don't have God in the center and they don't follow Bhagavad Gita. But this is the idea that everything belongs to God and we are all his children. So everybody is entitled to use the property of God. But because our consciousness is not right in this material world, everybody wants to, the greed is there and everybody wants to dominate others and exploit others. So we have created a mess. Otherwise, the material world, it can be it's a perfectly equipped as a complete whole. Whatever is produced, like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur said, there is no lack of anything, but there is scarcity of Krishna consciousness. Because if Krishna conscious, everybody becomes Krishna conscious, then everybody will become very happy. And everybody will think of each other's welfare like that. And there'll be peace. Swasti astu vishwasya khala prasidatam dhyayantu bhutani shivam mithodya manasya bhadram bhajatad adokshaje. Like Prahlad Maharaj's prayer. And the last line is that so there is a prayer. Let's read a prayer from Prahlad Maharaj. 589. Swastyastu vishwasya khala prasidatam dhyayantu bhutani shivam mithodhiya manasya bhadram bhajata dadokshaje aveshyatam no matirapya hetuki. May there be good fortune throughout the universe. Prahlad he wants everybody to be happy. What is that? Sukhina sarva bhavantu. What is that?
सर्वेपि सुखिनः भवन्तु सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु.
Yes. So he wants everybody to be happy. May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga. For by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. They will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Shri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thought of Him. So if everybody becomes Krishna conscious, so much trouble can be saved, so much, we can be all very happy. And there is no desire to artificially dominate. The country's most expenses are in defense, right? People are starving in the country, but they will spend so much on missiles and space exploration and all these things. Whereas people in their country are not having food, the basic necessities of life, but because of the false prestige and everybody wants to, so many weapons are being produced, billions of dollars, the biggest budgets are in defense, like used for defense. So, yeah, but if there were no boundaries and everybody was Krishna conscious and everybody respected, we have created these artificial boundaries by nations. Earlier, that's why there was only one emperor for the whole world. There were no boundaries like this is this nation and that is this nation. And one nation is trying to dominate another nation, like Russia and Ukraine fight is going on. It may turn into a big war. So it's going on for last so many years. So this is all this because of not recognizing that Krishna is the proprietor. So whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. Because he is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance. So 1 minus 1, normally we would think it is 0, but 1 minus 1 is equal to 1. This verse is basically saying that from Krishna so many things are coming. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate, in the Bhagavad Gita is saying. Everything is coming. Aham adir hi devanam. I am the source of all the demigods and all the things are coming. But I still remain the complete whole. Nothing. Like if I have $1,000 and if I give you $500, somebody I give you $100, and that at the end, because money is coming out of my treasury, right? Whatever my bank. So at the end, my bank account will have not any money. So, when the effect is there, then the cause may be diminished because the cause has transformed into effect. So we may think like that, okay. Or if I have a paper and I tear it apart and make so many pieces, the original paper is lost. So sometimes people may think that, yes, Krishna has transformed himself into so many things. So the original God is lost. So, but it is not like that. So 1 minus 1 is equal to 1. And also, we also say like that, the more we give Krishna, the more we get Krishna. So it is also 1 minus 1 is equal to 2, you could say like that. In spiritual mathematics, it is like that. The more you share Krishna with others, the more you become Krishna conscious also. But the more you share any material thing, then the less you have of that of the material thing, you have less. But the more you give the material thing, then the more you have Krishna. So there's also another way you can say like that. So because he's the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from him, he remains the complete balance. So, or we give to Krishna, then Krishna gives us so much more. Like that also you can say. Purport. The complete whole or the supreme absolute truth is the complete personality of Godhead. The realization of impersonal Brahman or of Paramatma, the super soul, is incomplete realization of the absolute complete. So Bhagavatam says that verse, right? The absolute truth is realized in 3 phases. Anybody knows that verse?
Vadanti tat tat vedas tatpad jnanam advayam brahmeti pramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdati.
Vadanti, they say. Who say? The transcendentalists. Tat, that. Tattva vidas, the learned souls. Tattvam, the absolute truth. Yat, jnanam advayam. They recognize that non-dual, absolute truth. Non-dual means there is no another one like. They know the absolute truth. Call this non-dual substance Brahman, Paramatma, or Bhagwan. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagwan. Somebody says Brahman, somebody says Paramatma, somebody says Bhagwan. Iti Shabdate. So the impersonalists are also transcendentalists. They say they talk about Brahman, the all-pervading Brahman. Yes. The yogis talk about the Paramatma because they see the super soul in the heart, and the bhaktas talk about Bhagwan. So like that, the jnanis, yogis, and bhaktas, they are transcendentalists. But here Prabhupada is saying that realization of impersonal Brahman or of Paramatma, the super soul, is an incomplete realization of the absolute complete. Because both are subordinate to the feature of Bhagwan. Paramatma and Brahman, both are subordinate. So that is why it is incomplete. Until you reach the source, it is incomplete. That's why. And how it is incomplete, the Prabhupada will say. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Satchidananda Vigraha. The example is given, we have heard it many times, of villager, 3 villagers who have never seen a train in their life. And in their village, a railway line has been laid out and a train is going to come at night. And all the 3 villagers are eager to see the train. And the train is coming from a distance. So one villager sees the headlight of the train from a distance. The train is moving slowly. He doesn't have patience. He's feeling sleepy. He goes home. So he got some realization, which is the light. Another villager waits on the platform. The train pulls in and the train is still moving. But now for him, he sees not only the headlight, he has seen the headlight, but he has also seen the bogies of the train. There are bogies and there is engine and like that. And then he goes home. And the third villager, he stays on the platform, waiting till the train comes to a complete halt. Then he sees, oh, there was headlight, there were bogies, but there are passengers in the train also. Because when train is moving fast, you may not see who is inside. So now the train has passengers and they are going in and out. There is so much activity. There are vendors, chai wala, and so many. They are selling their stuff. So that is another realization of the train, the last one being the most perfect. So Bhagwan realization, where you see the Lord and his pastimes with the devotees. It's like seeing the passengers in the train and their interaction. That is the most complete realization. Others are also realization, but they are partial realization. Somebody may say that, oh, for me, train was the light. Well, yes, the light is part of the train, but it's not. Or for me, the train means the shape with all the bogies. Yes, that is also correct, but not completely. So in this way, Prabhupada gave the example of the realization. So when we see Krishna from a far off distance, like in this Isopanishad, the last verse, right? It says, please remove the effulgence so that I can see your form, your dazzling form. Where is that? Not the last verse, but one of the verses here in Hiranmaya,
It's the 19th one.
verse number.
It's 15.
O my Lord, sustainer of all that lives, your real face is covered by your dazzling effulgence. Kindly remove that covering and exhibit yourself to your pure devotee. So sometimes, I know one devotee got a ticket in America because he was driving on a two-lane road. It is actually one-lane road, and the traffic is going in this way, and the traffic is coming from the opposite direction. And what happened? He had kept his high beam on. So when you keep your high beam on, and when the traffic is coming, the others cannot see it because it blinds you. So he got a ticket when police said, you have a high beam on a two-lane road, one-lane road, going both ways. So when there is blinding light, sometimes in India, you see they also flash the light, and it suddenly blinds you so much. Don't know how they drive. So when you see the Lord from far off distance, it is very blinding. That effulgence of the Lord is very blinding. The gopis are saying, yeah, even if we hide the butter, in a dark room, then Krishna will find it because he has jewels on his body. And then Yashoda says, okay, I'll remove the jewels. And says, no, even if you don't remove the jewels, but even if you remove the jewels, there is a light that emanates from his body. And that lights up everything, even in the dark room. So Krishna has effulgence. And that is why na tad bhashayate suryo na shashanko na pavaka yad gatvana nivartante tad dhama paramam. They say everything is lighted up by the Brahman effulgence. So they are self-illuminating, sometimes Prabhupada would say. But there is sun, of course, in the spiritual world, but it's not required. It is just to create the effect of day and night so Krishna can do his pastimes. And it does not have, time is conspicuous by its, time is
absence.
in the spiritual world. So there is time, but it does not have the destructive effect like here in the material world. With time, everything gets derailed here in this material world. So this dazzling effulgence of the Lord blinds everything. And so he's saying, oh, please remove that dazzling effulgence so I can see your face. What is behind, I can see. So when you see the Lord from a distance, it is the effulgence. Brahmano hi pratishta aham. In Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, I am the source of the impersonal Brahman. So that is so that somebody may think that is the Lord, which is correct because it is part of the Lord, but not complete. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Satchidananda Vigraha. And in the 12th chapter, Arjuna is asking, this 12th chapter opens up with a question by Arjuna. Evam satata yuktaye bhaktasvam paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Mayavesha Mano Yemam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Pariopetas Teme Yukta Tamamataha. He says, of the two, one who worships you, Arjuna is saying, those who worship you in an impersonal form or those who worship you in your personal form, which are considered more superior. And Krishna is saying, the one who worships Shraddhaya Pariopetas, my personal form, they are considered to be more superior. So impersonalists are also transcendentalists, but they are not considered as devotees of the Lord. Realization of impersonal Brahman is realization of his Sat feature, or his aspect of eternity, and Paramatma realization is his realization of his Sat and Chit features, his aspects of eternity and knowledge. So Sat, impersonal has Sat, means it is like existing forever. But there is no consciousness, like it's not like you are dealing with somebody, it's just the light, the Brahma Jyoti. But then you go to Paramatma feature, then there is Chit, means there is the form of the Lord. His aspects of eternity and knowledge, but realization of the personality of Godhead is realization of all the transcendental features, Sat, Chit and Ananda. Why? Because with Bhagwan you can reciprocate. You can have loving exchange with Bhagwan. So that is Sat, Chit and Ananda. When one realizes the Supreme Person, he realizes these aspects of the Absolute Truth in their completeness. So in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna also says, Avyaktam vyaktim apanna manyate mama buddhaya. People are thinking, those who are less intelligent, that I was impersonal before and now I have assumed personal form. But if God is complete, he should have both the aspects, the personal aspect and the impersonal aspect. Otherwise, we are limiting God. So God has both the aspects, and the way you approach him, that is how God reveals to you. Yatha mam prapadyate tan tathaiva bhajami ham. If you want to see God as impersonal, he will reveal to like Krishna says, yo yo yam yam tanum bhakta shraddhaya architum ichchati. If you want to worship some demigod, I will make your faith steady. So Krishna is very open. You want to worship some demigod? Krishna is saying, I'll make your faith steady in that demigod. If you want to see me as impersonal Brahman, okay, I'm ready to appear as impersonal Brahman because that is what you want. You want to enjoy independently of me, okay, I'll create this material world and you can be here and you can enjoy independently of me. So Krishna is very open. As we see in the Bhagavad Gita, at the end also he says, Yatha ichchasi tatha kuru. Now I have told you everything. Now you do whatever you like. So, so we have to decide and how we want to approach Krishna. So devotees, of course, they worship the personal form of the Lord. So Krishna is saying, this is all my different aspects. Now you decide where you want to place your heart. Although he says, of all the yogis, one who abides in me with great faith and always thinks of me within himself is the highest yogi. Yoginam api sarvesham madgatina antaratmana. Shraddhavan bhajate yomam same yukta tamamataha. Like that. So when one realizes the Supreme Person, he realizes these aspects of the Absolute Truth in their completeness. Vigraha means form, thus the complete whole is not formless. If he were formless, if he were less than his creation in any other way, he could not be complete. So he has to be both form and formless. So sometimes people say, you are Dvaitas or Advaitas? Well, we have both the aspects in our philosophy. There is Dvaita and Advaita. But yeah, but we know we are Achintya Bheda Bhed. The complete whole must contain everything both within and beyond our experience. Otherwise, he cannot be complete. So he should include what we have plus more. The complete whole, the personality of God, has immense potencies, all of which are as complete as he is. So he has many energies. Parasya Shaktir Vivadhai Vashvuyate Swabhaviki Jnana Bala Kriyacha. It is described, Krishna has many energies and they are ready to act under his direction and they are ready to fulfill his order. Thus, this phenomenal world is also complete in itself. The 24 elements of which this material universe is a temporary manifestation. So what are the 24 elements? Let's ask Alankar Prabhu if he's on the call still. What are the 24 elements? Okay, he's not there. Let's ask Manish Goel. Okay, he's not there. Then let's ask DK Sharma. Dwarkanath. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hmm?
I don't remember.
Charuta.
Prabhu, those Karmendriya, Jnanendriya, those,
Karmendriya, Jnanendriyas. That is. What are the Karmendriyas?
so the senses by which actions are done, right? So arms and limbs and tongue,
Yeah.
eyes.
Eyes,
Jnanendriya, they are more popular.
yeah, voice, and
Anus and genitals.
then
Yeah.
the hands and the legs.
And then mind, intelligence, ego.
Okay, that is
Yeah.
30. Yeah. So 10. So Gyanendriyas are eyes, ear, nose, like that, all this. Are Gyanendriyas.
Yeah.
Then the subtle body.
Sense objects. 5 sense objects.
5 sense objects, and 8 material elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. Right? Nor the 5. The 5. So 5 karmendriyas, 5 gyanendriyas, 5 the gross material elements: bhumi, apo, nalo, vayu.
5 sense objects, so that makes 20.
5 sense objects. Then
Mind, intelligence, ego.
Mind intelligence.
3.
And then contaminated consciousness.
Then the 4th is contaminated consciousness. Yeah, or the soul is not part of that, right? It's
It's soul only. Consciousness is a soul.
soul. Okay, so that way there are 24 elements, of which this material universe is a temporary manifestation, are arranged to produce everything necessary for the maintenance and subsistence of this. So everything is there in this universe for us to live happily. One reason we say God exists is that for everything that we need, there is an urge, there is a fulfillment of the urge provided in nature. We are hungry, so there is, if there was no food, so, but there is food. The child who is born, he cannot eat anything, so there is milk in the mother's breast, right? So everything, if you think, like we are thirsty, so there is water. There is the desire for sex life, so there is the opposite gender to fulfill that desire of the jiva. So everything in this material world is arranged, right, by the Lord, because we have all these desires, and this arrangement, sometimes they say, did any IIT engineer make this arrangement that the child is child as soon as the child is born? How it is happening? It is happening in the body automatically. But we say automatically, but it is by design, right? It is by design of the Lord that things are happening. So in this way, we can see the God's intelligence at work. And so everything is necessary for the maintenance, subsistence of this universe. Everything is provided. No other unit in this universe need make an extraneous effort to try to maintain the universe. One ecologist said, if you remove one species of life from this planet, the earth will restore its perfect ecological balance. Can you tell what that species of life is?
Human species.
Human species, yeah. If you remove humans from this earth, humans have made a mess of this. Otherwise, if for 100 years, let's say there were no humans on this planet, and you come back after 100 years, there'll be perfect ecological balance. That's what. Because we have done mess out of. Now we are using all this plastic and dumping in the ocean and so much pollution. Before there was a gas leak, right, in the ocean. So many gallons and gallons of this fuel was going into the ocean, and so many birds were becoming dead. So all this artificial arrangement, BP, long time back, it's the BP gas pipeline leaked in the ocean, and it was spewing, right, so much this gasoline in the water, and so many birds were dying, and so we want to protect this nature because it is Krishna's nature. Krishna has given, not for us to enjoy. Of course, we can enjoy also in this way because Krishna has given us the facility. We'll have a nice air to breathe, we'll have nice food to eat, everything. So the environmentalists are trying to preserve nature, but they don't know whose nature it is. It is Krishna's nature. So there's a little difference between devotee and the ordinary environmentalist who wants to protect nature. No other unit in this universe need make an extraneous effort to try to maintain the universe. The universe functions on its own time scale, which is fixed by the energy of the complete whole. So it is working like a clock. Seasons are changing and fruits are coming and going. And when that schedule is completed, this temporary manifestation will be annihilated by the complete arrangement of the complete whole. When Mahavishnu will breathe in, then All facilities are given to the small complete units, namely the living beings, to enable them to realize the complete whole. So especially we have all the facility now to become completely self-realized, to realize Krishna. And it is there, we have to avail of the facilities. All forms of incompleteness are experienced due to incomplete knowledge of the complete whole. So there is no incompleteness, but we experience incompleteness because we have incomplete knowledge of how to live in this world. The human form of life is a complete manifestation of the consciousness of the living being. And it is obtained after evolving through 8,400,000 species of life in the cycle of birth and death. So this is the basic understanding. We have come to human life after going through so many different species of life. So Bhagavatam says, if you have all the facilities and you don't use the facility, then you are committing
Suicide.
suicide. So this is the verse. Dehamadyam sulabam sudurlabham plavam sukalpam guru karnadharam mayanukule nabhasvate ritam puman bhavabdim na tarets atmaha. The human body, which can award all benefit in life, is automatically obtained by the laws of nature, although it is a very rare achievement. So it is automatically obtained means once you go in animal species of life, automatically you will come back because there is no karma. You're not incurring any karma. So you automatically come back to the human form, but after a long period of time. That's why it's a very rare achievement. That's why both the words are used, sulabham and sudurlabham. How can it be easy? Sulabham means effortlessly obtained, but very impossible to attain, even with great endeavor. So that's why it's contradictory in one way. Sulabham and sudurlabham. It is effortlessly obtained means we don't have to do anything. Once we are in animal species of life, we automatically go up to you again come back to the human form of life, the soul. But after so long period, we come back. So that's why Bhagavatam also says, strive for something in this life that you did not get in all the animal species of life and all the bird species of life and on all the plant species of life. And there is another verse like that, right? That what this human body can give is we can get out of this cycle of birth and death by reviving our relationship with the soul. This human body can be compared to a perfectly constructed boat, having the spiritual master as the captain and the instructions of the personality of Godhead as favorable winds, impelling it on its course. Considering all these advantages, a human being who does not utilize his human life to cross the ocean of material existence must be considered the killer of his own soul. Like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Durdevam idrisha mihajani nanuragaha. Your holy name can give all the benediction, but I am so unfortunate. I have no taste. I have no inspiration to chant the holy name. Because the holy name we can cross the ocean by the holy name. Kaler doshe nidhe rajan asti eko mahan guna kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param rajit. That's why Kali Yuga is worshipped. But it is so easy for us. But I have no inspiration. Of course, you all have devotees, but so we should be inspired to chant the holy name. I have no taste for chanting the holy name. So we should all chant at least 16 rounds. There is no difficulty. If you want to do it, we will do it, right? I mean, if you think it's very important, at least Prabhupada has given this number. So, and we should chant nicely also, not just to finish somehow or other. But we want to chant nicely. And then taste will come. Then why only 16 rounds? Some of you are chanting 32 rounds, right? So why only 16 rounds? So you like it and you will feel like this is the Very nice. Holy name is so nice. So it is obtained after evolving through 8,400,000 species of life in the cycle of birth and death. If in this human life of full consciousness, the living entity does not realize his completeness in relation to the complete whole, he loses the chance to realize his completeness. Animals cannot chant. We can chant the holy name, right? So we have given this, been facilitate the tongue, so we can chant the holy name. Of course, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu made the animals also chant Hare Krishna. So, and we have the opportunity to connect with Krishna. He loses the chance. If we don't connect, then we loses the chance to realize his completeness and is again put into the evolutionary cycle by the law of material nature. So you take an exam and you fail it, again you have to appear for the exam. Because we do not know that there is complete arrangement in nature for our maintenance, we make efforts to utilize the resources of nature to create a so-called complete life of sense enjoyment. Of course, with industrialization, we have all the amenities right now. But it's not all required actually for this. People were living before industrialization. All these computers were not there. The people were living, cell phones were not there. But we also have this facility, so we make use of it. Right now, we are all remotely connecting from our homes. So this is a very good facility also, if it is used to connect and speak about Krishna. Now we can hear any lecture from anywhere live, right? So it's a good technology, is a boon in one sense, because now we can get all the books on Veda base, right? And on our phone, we can read. One devotee was, there were two devotees. One devotee was saying that after the iPhone and all the smartphones came, I become very distracted. And another devotee was saying, after all the smartphones and I become very Krishna conscious. So, well, with the phone, you can read. At any time you have time, you can open vedabase.io, you can open, if you're Veda-base, pocket Veda-base, you can open and you can read. Or you can just go to some YouTube and watch something like that, non-Krishna conscious, like that. So is the phone not good or bad? Phone is depends on how you use it. So we have the boon technology, we have the printing press, which is also technological. Now we have we have our own copy of Bhagavad Gita. Earlier they had to write on the palm leaves and then, they would copy by hand. It would take so much time. Paper was not available. So many things. Prabhupada also, when he wanted to publish his Back to Godhead, he had to procure paper, which was not so easily available. Difficult to get like that. So, but now we have so much thing because of all this industrialization, but there is a downside also to it, because we can get trapped and it creates so much pollution and all these vehicles and all these modern day weapons, bombs, guns, because the living entity cannot enjoy the life of the senses without being dovetailed with the complete whole. The misleading life of sense enjoyment is illusion. So part cannot enjoy without the whole, without being connected to the whole. If it thinks it is enjoying, then it is illusion. The hand of a body is a complete unit only as long as it is attached to the complete body. So when our consciousness is connected with Krishna, Prabhupada is saying, then only we can enjoy. But many people say, I'm enjoying, I'm all right, I don't need to be connected with the complete whole. Krishna, I'm enjoying. But Prabhupada is saying, it's sense enjoyment in illusion, is illusion. It's illusory. Maya Sukha. When the hand is severed from the body, it may appear like a hand. But somebody may say, well, enjoyment is enjoyment. You call it is illusory, but enjoyment is enjoyment. I'm getting enjoyment. You have termed it as illusory. I don't agree with you. So that will go on till some misery happens, right? And then we will become depressed, because the more our desires to enjoy in this world, the more things will not go right, then it will become depressed also. Or sometimes people make an adjustment. Yes, life is like that. Sometimes there is happiness, sometimes distress, and they are satisfied also. But because they don't know that they are not supposed to be in this kind of situation of birth, death, old age, disease. So they don't know anything better, that there is a life where there is no birth, death, old age, disease. So they are satisfied with this life. And there is no faith also, right? Sometimes we don't have faith. Spiritual world exists. There is a place like that. Krishna is God and all these things. Um, Somebody was saying, my goal of my life is to attain Krishna Prem. Another person was a materialist. He was thinking, Krishna Prem? Is that the goal of your life? Your goal of life should be to become like engineer or doctor or something like that. But your goal of life is to attain Krishna Prem. We even don't know who is this Krishna, like that. So 5,000 years back, somebody was there or not. So many people think this is very absurd. To make progress spiritually and to connect with God is a very absurd thing. Ya nisha sarva bhutanam tasyam jagriti sanyami. What is the next line?
Tasyam jagriti bhutani sanisha pashyata mani.
So they have different goal of life. So we should have this goal. We should say this is the goal, even if we have not fully tuned into it, but this is the goal, which we at least theoretically accept. When the hand is severed from the body, it may appear like a hand, but it actually has none of the potencies of a hand. If my hand is cut and it's lying on the street, it's a hand, but it cannot do all the work of a hand because it is cut off. Similarly, living beings are part and parcel of the complete whole. And if they are severed, means our consciousness is disconnected from the complete whole, the illusory representation of completeness cannot fully satisfy them. So the illusory representation cannot fully. So that's why everybody is dissatisfied, because they are not connected with the complete whole. The completeness of human life. So even devotees are dissatisfied, we may say. Devotees are also hankering for so, because devotees are work in progress. They may not be pure devotees yet. Because if you are pure devotee and you have connected with Krishna, then you're completely satisfied. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhakti radokshaje ahetukya pratihata yayatma suprasidati. Because we are not fully purified. That's why we may be still seeking something outside of Krishna consciousness, the illusory representation. The completeness of human life can be realized only when one engages in the service of the complete whole. But the devotees also have anxiety, right? Prabhupada had anxiety. Like materialist people also have anxiety for sense gratification. To get the objects of sense gratification, they have anxiety. Prabhupada have another anxiety. So it seems like both have anxiety, but one anxiety is to give Krishna to others. He had the anxiety. Another anxiety, material anxiety, is how my material situation will become very nice so I can enjoy. So that is the anxiety of the materialist. So there is material anxiety and there is transcendental anxiety. It both appears as anxiety, but it is different. Like Krishnadas Kaviraj says, iron is metal and gold is also metal, but there is difference in the iron, value of iron and the value of gold. All services in this world, whether social, political, communal, international, or even interplanetary, will remain incomplete until they are dovetailed with the complete whole. So everything should be done in relation to the complete. When everything is dovetailed with the complete whole, the attached parts and parcels also become complete in themselves. So the part connected to the whole, like leaf connected to the tree, remains healthy and green. But if it gets disconnected, then it becomes brown and withers, dries up. So this is the purport. So any comments anybody has? We have a study material also, but we'll just go through the whole purports and everything, what Prabhupada says first, and then we'll look at the verses again with the study guide and some questions. So any comments anybody has? This is basic stuff, Krishna consciousness 101. So how will we apply this in our life? Is there a way? So we should, what is that we can do in our life to apply this verse and the purport? What do you think?
Dovetail all our activities connected to Krishna. Do everything for the pleasure of Krishna, unconditionally and uninterruptedly. Then we'll be satisfied and happy.
Yes, so we are all family people. So we can connect our family to Krishna, our children to Krishna, like that, and other people to Krishna. We can use our money for Krishna. We can use our energy to serve Krishna, like that. We can use our karmendriyas to serve Krishna. We can use our gyanendriyas to serve Krishna, to come closer to Krishna. Our body, mind, and words, right? We say like that. So we can dovetail. Unless it's a sinful activity, which you cannot dovetail. Everything else you can dovetail in Krishna's service. So whatever we eat, we should offer to Krishna. So like that, everything, all our activities should be to serve Krishna. Then we will be completely satisfied. Okay, so we are going to stop there if there is no other comment. It's 9 o'clock. Almost. Thank you everyone for joining.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Hare
you.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prabhuji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji.